Yeah, I think I hope we have not seen the last of the Finance Act
contestation,
legal battle. We expect this matter to continue in the court because some of the measures really, and this the one that I really want to look at is this one on the 10% import levy,
export levy,
which was introduced on clinker, which is used for manufacture of cement. It was introduced on paper and also on metal, for galvanized irons and so forth, all those wires that are used for construction. So I think, and then you see Naval going to court to support it. And this, let me explain. His company is the only one that produces clinker in the coast. Right now, all the other cement factories import clinker. So by adding a 10%, you will make the clinker that comes in to be very expensive. And the companies have now two options: either buy from him or buy that, import that expensive one, and their products will then be not competitive. It will be cheaper to import cement from Tanzania or Uganda. As we speak now, the total taxes on cement clinker, if you're bringing it into Kenya, including the 10% export levy, is 24%. Compare that with Uganda and Tanzania, which is 11.5% and 10%. I mean, clearly, anyone who produces cement in those countries will find it cheaper. The same thing when you go to the metal, the galvanized iron, which is used for the wires and so forth. In Kenya now, with the taxes, it goes up to 14%. Zero in Uganda. And you see 1.5% in Tanzania. What you are trying to say is it's cheaper for people to get those products from outside, but from those neighboring countries. But more importantly, it will make the cost of production here expensive. Cost of construction will go up significantly. The same thing with paper, and I want to talk about the example of, for example, what will happen to the tea. People who are doing value addition on tea and have to export. And for tea, then you need this special
craft
paper,
paper.
this craft paper.
Yeah.
And if you are importing it, that bulk, you're paying duty at 35%. Now we have introduced 25% customs, excise duty on it. So you pay 25% export excise. You pay 35% duty. That's already 60%. You pay 16% VAT. Then that's already 76%. Then you're going to pay the IDF and RDLs and railway development levy and all those things. How are you then telling tea farmers? You go to Nyeri and say, tea farmers, the government is doing something to turn around tea. The government is doing value addition. How would you do value addition? How do we become competitive when Sri Lanka and other tea producing countries, India and others? So I mean, some of the measures that the government put in place in Finance Act really not only undermine or are inimical to its own stated policies of value addition, but in the case of the export development levy, I think it was just an attempt to try and protect certain interests. That's exactly what it is, and we need to say things as they are, because there was a meeting at which the government plus all the people who are stakeholders in the cement industry developed, through Kenya Association of Manufacturers, a blueprint for the development of clinker in the country. And I think the arrangement was that by 2026, all the players in the industry will have invested a total of 100 billion shillings. And from that year onward, then we will not be importing clinker. It was agreed. The ink has not dried. 2 months later, the government introduces a levy. So I mean, honestly, so how do you engage businesses, and then when you have agreed on something, you now do something in order to serve the interest of another, a particular, you disadvantage the others at the expense of.
So this is the creation of monopoly,
I think
also dampening the spirit of capitalism.
This whole thing, this is a microcosm of what the whole Finance Act looks like. There is a lot of representations that were made around the way the economy would be stimulated, right? And the good thing about this particular one, there's a lot of public participation. People brought things in, whatever it is. I don't know what happened